All right, let's dive right into this because we are standing right in the middle of a massive paradigm shift in how information is discovered online. We're moving rapidly away from the days when you just typed a query and relied entirely on those traditional blue links. Today, websites are being found and actually read through AI platform recommendations and query summaries. But here's the catch. Figuring out exactly how an AI decides which websites to pull its answers from, well, it can feel a lot like staring into a black box. So in this explainer, we're going to decode that box and look at how a website actually makes its way into AI search results. It is the absolute burning question that website owners and digital marketers are asking everywhere right now. Why isn't my website showing up? And, it's incredibly frustrating. Back in the day, you just submit a sitemap to a search engine, wait for the crawl, and you were good to go. But with AI platforms, there is no magical one-click submission button to get cited. You can't just wave your hands and say, "Hey, pick me." The whole process is entirely different now, and understanding exactly why you aren't showing up is the very first step to fixing it. So here's our roadmap for today. Number 1, the new search reality. 2, foundation, accessibility, and trust. 3, the indexing illusion. And 4, we'll give you your 60-day action plan.
Let's start with Section 1, the new search reality, moving beyond the manual click.
Okay, so the rules of visibility have completely changed. We really need to start thinking of AI systems less like simple, robotic catalogers of the web and much more like meticulous academic researchers. Getting your site featured in an AI summary isn't just one single step. It's actually a complex, distributed process scattered across 4 distinct pillars: search, indexing, response generation, and the specific policies of the AI systems themselves. Trying to hack this manually is practically impossible because you're dealing with layers of algorithms all working together to filter the web. Basically, if you drop the ball on any one of these layers, your content just gets left on the cutting room floor.
Moving into Section 2, foundation, accessibility, and trust, building the citable baseline.
Look, an AI simply cannot cite what it cannot read. It focuses heavily on what is accessible and understandable. Now, this baseline might seem super basic, but it is absolutely vital. If your key pages are blocked by a robots text file, or maybe they're hidden behind complex client-side rendering with barely any meaningful text in the raw code, the AI just can't access your material. You've got to have readable HTML, not just heavy scripts. You need correct response statuses, meaning a healthy 200 OK status. And you definitely need proper canonical URLs alongside a really stable navigation structure. Without that technical foundation, the AI is just going to move right on to the next site.
Now, once the AI can actually read your site, it starts looking for quality. And we kind of need to redefine what a citable source means in the age of AI. We are totally moving away from just chasing perfect SEO metrics. Instead, these platforms are looking for content that acts like an authoritative academic source. We're talking genuine depth and originality. It requires factual accuracy, information that is updated regularly, and a crystal clear page purpose. If your page is just some thin wrapper of keywords designed to game an old search algorithm, yeah, an AI summarizing facts for a user is going to ignore it completely. And part of that quality check comes down to trust. AI systems heavily rely on sources that project strong trust signals. It wants to know exactly who is publishing the content and where they work. Having a clear author and organizational identity right alongside transparent contact info is huge. But, it's not just about the author. It's about the context of the entire website. The AI uses your internal links to understand related materials, and it looks for a clear, overarching subject area for the whole site. The better the AI can connect the user's query with your established topic and credibility, the better your chances of making it into that final answer.
All right, on to Section 3, the indexing illusion. This is all about why being crawled isn't enough anymore.
This right here is arguably the most common misconception that digital marketers face today. When you compare these two realities, there is a stark difference. See, in traditional indexing, you're just getting crawled and added to a database. It's like you're a book placed inside a massive library. But simply being in the library doesn't mean the librarian is going to hand your book to a visitor. AI response generation is an entirely different beast. Even if your page is indexed perfectly, the AI might choose other sources based on a ton of real-time factors. It's looking at language, geography, behavioral data, its own system limitations, and most importantly, the actual quality of competing pages. So hitting the index, that's just the prerequisite. It absolutely does not guarantee you'll win the citation.
And just to complicate things a little further, AI platforms are not a monolith. They differ wildly under the hood. Some of these tools run live web searches to fetch up-to-the-second data.
Others, they rely heavily on their own proprietary closed databases. And then you have others using a mix of partner indexes. Because there are so many completely different backend requirements, there's literally no guaranteed universal way to artificially lock your website into that top AI spot across the board. The days of optimizing for one single algorithm are officially over. Which brings us to Section 4, your 60-day action plan. Let's translate all this theory into some actual strategy.
Let's take all the tension out of this black box and turn it into a concrete, totally manageable strategy. Instead of trying to somehow force your site into an AI, we're going to focus on a chronological 60-day plan. First step, audit your indexing. Get into your webmaster consoles, make sure canonicals are right, and fix any blocks. Next, you improve the actual quality of your key pages. Step 3, make your content highly quotable. Fourth, strengthen those internal connections. And finally, monitor your essential trust signals. Let's break down exactly how to execute a few of these critical steps. So let's zero in on step 3, making your content quotable. AI absolutely loves bite-sized, easily verifiable facts that it can quickly extract and summarize. To give the AI exactly what it's craving, you need to add clear, concise definitions of complex terms right on your pages. Give concrete examples to back up your points. Throw in some hard statistics, and always link out to primary sources when you can. By doing this, you're effectively pre-packaging your information in a way that is incredibly easy for an AI to digest and, more importantly, to cite.
Bridging the gap between a nice strategy and actual execution requires some structured effort. To improve those key pages, use super clear headings, structured text, and make sure you're answering real questions that users actually have. For strengthening internal links, don't just link randomly. You want to build deliberate topic clusters and cross-link pages to map out your site's knowledge structure for the AI. And to monitor trust, get in there and actively update your About Us pages, clearly lay out your publication policies, and highlight your authors. In the AI world, transparency is for sure your best friend.
So, after you put this 60-day plan into motion, how do you actually know if it's working? Well, because traditional rank tracking is changing so rapidly right now, you have to look at indirect metrics to measure your true impact. Start watching the frequency of your brand mentions across the web. Keep an eye on your overall organic traffic growth. Pay really close attention to the quality and relevance of the search queries coming in. Are people actually finding you for the specialized topics you write about? And finally, track your visibility in web tools that are specifically designed to reflect sources used by AI.
We have covered a lot of ground in this explainer today, from the technical baselines of readable HTML all the way to the nuances of trust signals and the whole indexing illusion. But honestly, it all boils down to one fundamental shift in mindset. So I want to leave you with this final thought to chew on. Is your content just searchable, or is it truly citable? Because being included in an AI response isn't a one-time setting or a permission slip you get to sign. It is the natural result of creating compelling, highly structured, and deeply useful content that an AI simply cannot afford to ignore. Thanks for joining me today, and I hope this helps you decode that black box for your own website.